Hey guys, and welcome to another Wheel to Wheel Hotlap, proudly brought to you by Hybrid Ag. I'm your Hotlap host Viper's Fang, and this week we have Zeedy showing us the way around Blue Moon Infield. It's going to be a really great race here. We're in the Group 4s. It's the second round of the season. First one was a banger. This one's not going to be any different. I'm going to throw it over to Zeedy, and he's going to show us the way around Blue Moon Bay Infield.
Thanks Viper. Zeedy here, going to take you for a quick lap guide around Infield 8. One of my favourite tracks on GT7, and I've had plenty of great races here, especially in the wheel-to-wheel format. Unfortunately, I haven't had the results, but hopefully I'll change it this weekend. So this is what goes through my mind in this very fast-flowing 10-corner circuit. As we're going to start finishing line here, it's all about positioning the car in the right areas. For me, I forget braking until this about this point here, just after the 50-meter mark, and I'm positioning the cars between these two areas here. As you can see, there's one line that's a bit high line and there's a lower line here. I try positioning the car in the middle, especially for MR cars. This is about the right time so I don't get unsettled about this uneven patch right here. So it's all about trying to keep maintain corner speed coming up through these corners. So as you apply the brakes really hard, I'm just applying the brakes, trying to hit the apex. As you can see, I've kind of missed the apex by about half a car length. You want to be right over on this apex to get the maximum speed out of this corner. As we come, it's all about here. You want to watch about for this area here, because this transition, it can unsettle the car. If you're back here, around this area down here, as you look at the cursor at the bottom right hand side of your screen, this really upsets the car. So I try going about here. This transition is nice and easy, and it makes it a lot more easier for me to accelerate through to the next corner. As we approach up to this corner, I'm looking for right here, this logo right here, Flying America logo right here. This is where I'm looking at turning in and braking at the same time. I'm holding gear 4 and then transitioning to gear 3 to make the car rotate so I can hit the next apex right here. The car comes around nice and easy. I'm looking at braking in between these two light markers here. I'm looking for this in the middle, so I'm looking for this patch here to brake early, brake as little as possible, but braking early so I can make the next corner. As I come up to approach, got the car nice and straight, touched on the brakes, turning in and braking, letting the car rotate through and using all the track and accelerating out. As you can see, I'm trying to cut the track as much as possible, using all the curves and braking as I enter this little tunnel here. So some people brake at the shadow. I brake right here, especially at this is the race 2 settings. I brake right here, braking really hard, really long, and following this traction zone here, making sure that letting the car, using the gears to turn in the car, and gear 2 to accelerate out. As I approach this corner, I get it as far right as possible. I'm going to ignore this apex. Don't worry about it. I'm going to follow where the traction zone is, and I'm going to ignore the first apex, let the car rotate under gears, gear shift up, and then make sure I hit the second apex. The car rotated on the throttle, running up through the end of sector 2. Now, this is a vital corner of the track. Can't stress more how important it is to have a massive run. If you want to defend against a Porsche, this is where you need to get all your traction and get this turn in right. For me, I just brake and turn in just before the 50-meter mark, and I want to try glancing this wall here. Getting an exit on a car that's on any car will help you gain massive times and defend your spot. You know, I can remember people who absolutely nail this corner and win by 0.097 seconds of a second. So just remember that. With this last corner, it's all about having minimal steering lock. As you can see, oops, I've dropped it back. As you can see here, I've got as minimum steering lock just to make the corner and not disrupt too much speed off. And as we go through down, just going through the gears, for me, revving out the car is where I get the max power, and then crossing the line, thinking about how you've just beaten a guy by 0.097 0.7 seconds. So that's the lap guide around Infield. I hope you've learned something, and I hope to see you on track.
Well, thanks for that, Zeedy. It's another great lap by one of our really strong drivers this season. Zeedy's been on fire lately, and we can see why after that great lap. Now, we have some interesting things to discuss about this round. We're in the Group 4s again, and they always provide tight, close racing, and especially around this track. Each car has a bit of an advantage. You know, some of the high-powered cars are going to pull away on that back straight. Some of the more handling orientated cars are going to have the advantage through the midfield, and it should be pretty even. It's going to be interesting. There's lots of tricky sections in this track. There's transitions onto the banks, transitions off the banks. There's hard braking zones, hairpins. There's going to be some high tire deg, and it's going to be a real cracker. I can't wait for it. Now, tire allocations are a bit funky this week. The race directors have been at it again. 8 laps on hards for the first race. 12 laps softs are only available in the second race, and the third race 25 laps. Hard tire is the only mandatory tire. You can run whatever you like after that. It's gonna be an interesting one. Do you no stop? Do you one stop? Now, the fuel doesn't seem to be an issue in the Group 4 cars, but tire deg is definitely the story for this week, and it's going to make some interesting racing. There are a couple of cars that have a pretty significant tire wear advantage this week, and those guys should be fairly strong, but you never know what can happen in the race. Now, you guys know what to do. You guys need to tune in 5:30, 7:30, YouTube, Facebook. You guys know where to find it. You guys know what to do. This week is gonna be a banger, and I can't wait. Let's get some.